I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur, Amy said as she showed the audience one of the modular home renovations her company had done. I guess it just happened. In high school, I joined a club that worked on housing rehabilitation. At first, I just wanted to earn some time dollars to use online. But when I saw the housing a lot of families lived in, I realized there was a real need. So I started a small business to service energy equipment and to train high school students in the process. Now, we design, install, and repair solar panels, home hydrogen power units, and battery storage systems. I'm not a rich woman, but I get what I need, and I know I'm making a difference. And our customers recognize that everything they do, as a consumer or otherwise, can be done in a way that makes the community healthier and more self-reliant. For me, it was never about starting a business, Jesse said as the avatars of the 200-some-odd participants found themselves inside the video game he had created to help kids learn how to navigate their way through adolescence. As music blared overhead, Jesse yelled, "I figure I'm just lucky to be alive. I've been to jail twice. And on my second trip, I got into a job training program for software development. And I was good at it. Something just clicked. And I thought, I want to help young people have that same aha moment. The games we've designed are pretty intense, but we hope we can give kids a glimpse of the brighter future they can have if they work for it." With the federal government constrained by debt, many people sought solutions closer to home. During the 2010s, many communities set up time banks where members bartered their own services. The social interaction of trading their own time exposed many to a level of diversity they had not seen before. At the same time, collaborative consumption arrangements, such as car sharing and bike sharing, really began to take off. Entertainment also became more local, with community arts groups flourishing. New technologies enhanced this local self-sufficiency. 3D printing evolved into desktop manufacturing capable of producing many of life's necessities. Limited capability product printers even became affordable for home use. The trend of buying locally produced foods spread to commodities and services. Efficient solar cells made locally produced solar energy competitive with power from the grid. Solar cells could be run off on presses like newspapers or could be sprayed onto surfaces. New high-capacity batteries could store many days' worth of the power they produced. Consumers increasingly supported small local farms, and high-yield aeroponic in-home gardening systems allowed even dense urban areas to produce their own food. These technologies shifted economic and political activity back to the local level. Local leaders embraced a vision of community development that included everyone, particularly the poor. Local credit unions and community banks allowed people to keep money circulating close to home. Local currencies helped communities insulate themselves from the vicissitudes of the national and global economies. With the success of the early adopters of these approaches, other communities soon followed suit. Research suggested that close-knit communities tended to be more productive, more innovative, happier, and even healthier than those where residents did not interact and trade among themselves. Many communities built walkable, mixed-use, mixed-income neighborhoods that gave them a strong sense of identity. Well-lit streets, parks and playgrounds, good food stores, and effective access to transit are common even for low-income communities by 2030. At the same time, the use of tobacco, unhealthy foods, and payday lending had declined as communities rejected these products and the vulnerabilities that come with them. Community-based environmental activism emerged as inexpensive sensor networks allowed citizens and public health officials to track down local sources of pollution. Governments have focused their own efforts on funding small local efforts and on identifying what worked in different communities. Some of the most successful innovations applied new learning in psychology and neuroscience. Programs to reduce gang violence leveraged the experience of reformed gang members to engineer turning points in the lives of other young people. Nudge approaches and carrot and stick incentives tied to income supports help shift behaviors toward greater independence. Research on meditation and other mind-body techniques are powerful for improving attention and impulse control. These were incorporated by schools everywhere. Communities have developed a wide array of indicators to measure vulnerability and to capture the high costs of ill health, lost productivity, violence and crime, and simple human unhappiness. Vulnerability has been redefined as the absence of the economic, social, and spiritual conditions that support the health and thriving of a community. Efforts to reduce vulnerability have shifted focus from creating a safety net toward helping every person achieve his or her full potential.